Hi! Gulat ka, no? Yeah, so I made this video, no, to help people, especially students, no, to learn super easy way to test the reliability of a tool. No, as you know, availing statistical support, no, can be very expensive at times. No, so that's why I made this video. And I hope you would listen very well so that you'd be able to apply it in your own research. So I call this Project Heart, helping everyone avoid really tedious statistics, no? Because personally, no, before when I was not yet loving research and statistics, when I first hear the term statistics, no, parang nagsha-shutdown na yung brain ko. No, it does not function anymore. Even the mere sight of numbers. And because of that, I did not have much of the opportunity to learn about statistics. Pero buti na lang, during my master's degree, no, na-reinforce yung idea that research and statistics is not just about math. No, it's about being data-driven, being precise with the programs, policies, and activities that we will be creating with the help of data. No? So, under the premise that we only have one life to live, no? We have to do things with precision, no? And research and statistics could help us with that. So, that's how I survived or I overcame the challenge of not wanting research and statistics. So I hope, no, kung napapanood mo man to or napapakinggan mo to, you can put that into your heart, no, na you don't have to love math per se or love statistics per se, but you can start operating by your love or genuine interest to help the organization you chose for your study. Okay, so let's get going. Yan. So, ano ba yung mga pag-uusapan natin this for this video? So, of course, I have to introduce myself, no? It's very important to know the why. As human beings, no, yan yung nagda-drive ng motivation natin, yung why, no? And how to do it from raw data to data analysis because I check YouTube tutorials on reliability analysis, and for most videos, they would jump into JAS already, or they would start with doing reliability analysis in JAS, but there's no tutorial from raw data. So that's why I created this video. Okay? Yan. So my name is Miss Linda. I'm an AB Psychology graduate from the National Teachers College. I have master's degree in education, major in measurement and evaluation, pretty much research and statistics, no, in a nutshell, from Miriam College. And I was a full CEM scholar. So thank you very much, CEM and Miriam College, for that opportunity. Okay, I'm currently completing my doctoral degree, major in educational management at the National Teachers College as well. So, kung nahihirapan kayo sa research nyo, same. No, I'm also, no, feeling what you are feeling as I'm completing my dissertation. It was really challenging. And it will always be challenging. Ganyan talaga pag nagmamahal. No? And when you do things with heart, no, or with so much love and passion. Okay, so I'm also a licensed and practicing teacher and like psychometrician, and I'm proud to say that I'm a researcher and statistician with the heart, and I have helped thousands of students in my capacity as research teacher, no, panelist, advisor, no, helping organizations, no, in writing research that are not just for requirement's sake, no, but researches that are useful, helpful, and ethical, no? Kasi yun naman yung mahalaga. Mag-i-invest ka na rin naman in terms of research, lalo na kung research writer ka, Okay? Why not do it properly? No, you put your money, time, and effort into something that would be used by your chosen organization. Okay? Yan. So, sana na-convince ko naman kayo na makinig sa akin. Okay? Yan. So, why is very important for human beings, no? Kasi yan yung nagde-drive sa atin. Yan yung nagmo-motivate sa atin to do things. Yan, so kung napapagod na kayo, no, in terms of writing your paper, in terms of your graduate school, in terms of your college degree, you just have to remind yourself of your why. Gusto kong graduate, gusto kong makatulong sa pamilya, gusto kong ma-promote. The why is very important, no, especially during those times na parang hirap ka na at gusto mo nang sumuko. Okay? Which is why we are also discussing the why of doing the reliability of your survey tool. No, there are three reasons. First is repeatability. So, it ensures consistent results across multiple uses of the survey. So, ito yung mga test katulad ng mga test retest, alternate forms, wherein um, you would at least no administer the tool twice, no, and you are hoping for a significant positive and large correlation between the pre and post test. Ibig sabihin, pag mataas siya pareho, there's an assumption that it's consistent across multiple uses of the survey. And this is typically applicable for the dichotomous types of survey tool. No, yung may mga tamang sagot, multiple choice, yan yung mga normally ginagamit natin, and then we use Pearson product moment correlation, no, to measure the relationship between the pre-test and post-test. No? So, next is accuracy. Kung ang ginagawa mo naman or if your research will be using scales, no, yung rate yourself from 1 to 4 in terms of your agreement for particular statements. So, madalas na ginagamit dyan ay internal consistency. Ganon din naman sa mga dichotomous type of test, no? Pwede rin tayo mag-internal consistency, though magkaiba ang item analysis process ng dichotomous test and yung mga scales. Okay, pero yung Cronbach alpha, it's something that you can use to both. Okay? So, predictability, no, is also important. So, it provides reliable data for confident decision making. No, kasi just imagine, yung survey tool na gagamitin nyo will guide you in writing your summary of findings, conclusion, and recommendation. No? So, mahalaga na reliable yung tool mo. Mahalaga na reliable yung mga statements na gagamitin mo to measure your desired construct. Kasi just imagine if your tool is not reliable. Halimbawa, kung estudyante ka, no? Yung grade mo magbo-base doon sa score mo sa exam. Tapos yung example na kinuha mo ay hindi reliable, no? Tapos bumagsak ka, 'di ba? So, just imagine that test will yield a decision making whether you will fail or pass a certain grade level. So it would be very unfair for you kung babagsak ka because of a tool that is not even reliable. No? So ganun din lang yung concept sa research. Ano ba yung mga decisions na ginagawa sa research? Ginagamit natin yun to create programs, to create policies, to create activities. So, dapat lang na nakabase siya sa isang survey instrument na reliable. Okay? So, I hope I was able to establish the why, and gagawin na natin yung reliability analysis na napakadali lang, napakasimple, but here are other information that would help you, no, sa pag-iisip ano bang instrument yung gagamitin mo sa study mo. So we have standardized tests, no? So ito yung mga tests na may manual binibili, no? So sometimes it's very expensive. As a psychometrician, isa sa mga task ko before yung mag-inform kung ano yung mga kailangan namin test, no? Sometimes the test would costs around 65,000 for a package na sobrang expensive niya. Ang maganda lang dito, there's no need for validation or pilot testing. No? Okay na rin yung psychometric properties niya kasi normally it was administered to thousands of people. There's clear and consistent scoring and administration procedures. Yun nga lang, sabi ko nga, napakamahal niya. Pangalawa, inflexible siya. So, kung ano yung nandoon, halimbawa, ang kailangan mo lang naman, yung 10 items, kasi yun lang yung rated sa study mo. Hindi pwedeng hindi mo siya gamitin ng buo. Kasi, standard na siya. So, kung 50 items yan, kahit 10 lang yung kailangan mo, you have to administer 50 items. Okay? And pwede kasing hindi siya fully aligned sa mga variables mo or not fully applicable to your respondents. No? So yun lang yung mga danger ng standardized test. Okay, may mga free online test din. Halimbawa, yung mga well-being index ng World Health Organization, PHQ-9. So, very explicit na nakalagay sa page nila that you can use and download it without permission anytime. So, ang maganda dyan, of course, it's free, low cost, no, ideal for budget-conscious researchers. Meron na din yung mga basic guidelines for scoring and administration, no, and quick to use. Hindi mo na kailangan maghintay ng go signal because you can use it anytime. Kaso, no, tests like this have limited psychometric information and scoring reliability. No, so minsan yung scoring nila very generic. No, hindi siya nakakatulong para sa researchers or yung psychometric information niya very limited din. Minsan makikita mo na lang yung psychometric properties niya sa mga published research din, no, for parang validation of a particular tool. Katulad ng standardized test, no, limited din yung flexibility niya and hindi mo rin siya pwedeng galawin. So kung ano yung na-download mo, yun lang yung pwede mong i-administer. Hindi ka pwedeng mag-remove ng mga items. Kasi para siyang standardized, it's just that it is made available, no, for the public. And katulad din sa standardized test, baka hindi siya specific sa variables mo or hindi siya applicable or suitable for your respondents' characteristics. Okay? Yung iba naman ang ginagawa, very unethical na ina-adjust yung buong study for the instrument. So, they are adjusting based on their convenience, which is not good. Remember, when we are making a research, the research has to be helpful for our chosen research local or chosen respondents. Okay? Meron ding marami ang kumukuha ng survey tool. No, a lot of us are getting survey tools from published journals. No, so ang maganda, it's free to use but with proper permissions from the author. You cannot use it unless there is an explicit approval from the authors. Okay? And typically, it includes very basic psychometric data to support validity and reliability. Kaso nga lang, hindi katulad ng standardized and free online test. No, yung mga sa published journals, hindi siya ganun ka-rigorous in terms of psychometric properties testing kasi yung main goal ng paggawa ng tool na yon is not really for survey tool creation. No, ginawa yun para sa research pa rin. Kumbaga secondary objective na lang yung paggawa ng tool, pero ang main objective is to create a research. So hindi ganun ka-rigorous yung pag-check ng validity and reliability unlike standardized test and free online test. No? So ang cons naman nito, since hindi nga siya originally for tool creation, limited yung guidance on test administration and scoring. No? Adaptation for your context may still require validation and pilot testing, no? Kasi yung mga tools na yon, it was not made for you. No? It was actually made for their own research local or chosen participants. No? Typically, taga-abroad pa. So, malaki ang chance that it may not be applicable, no, to your chosen respondents. Kaya, when you ask permission from authors sa mga published journals, isama mo na yung request to validate and pilot test the tool just so you can make sure that it's applicable to your own population. And sometimes, si mismong author yung nagsasabi, yes, you can use it, but please have it validated and pilot tested. Okay? Yun nga lang, may mga published journals din that are restricted behind paywalls. So, yun din yung mga restriction niya. Ngayon, may tinatawag tayong researcher-made test. No? So, it's fully you can customize it specific to your research variables and respondent needs. Unlike nung tatlo na parang minsan pinipilit na lang natin, just so we have a survey instrument in our tool. No? So sa researcher made, sure tayo na very connected siya doon sa kailangan, no, the needs of the community, the needs of the research local and the participants, and to the very variables that we are measuring. No? So, ikaw talaga yung gagawa ng tool. Yun nga lang, of course, that's time-consuming and requires significant effort to develop. No? So, ikaw yung magpapavalidate. You would look for experts, no, sa field just so we can make sure that the tool has content validity. Okay? Ipapapilot test mo yan to group of people who have the same characteristics as your target participants, no? And of course, there could be some form of bias kasi technically hindi naman tayo expert, no, in terms of creating a tool. So that's why it needs constant collaboration with other experts para ma-make sure natin na okay yung survey instrument. No? So for a research, no, typically the way forward, no, especially for study na merong special variables, no, is to really create your own tool. No? So yeah, at least nakikita nyo yung similarities and difference, no, pros and cons among different types of survey instrument that you can use in a research. Okay, ang dami ko na naman sinabi, di ba? Siyempre, kailangan i-explain yan. Kasi, no, para at least nakikita niyo yung buong picture, no, on why you should do certain things like this, no? Kasi, when you write your chapter 2 for method, no, very important na alam mo rin yung mga limitations ng approaches mo. Because that's when, as a researcher, nagkakaroon ka ng self-awareness on how you could mitigate the risk. Okay? Yeah. So, are you ready? So, here are the things that you need. Of course, you need a cat. Hindi, joke lang. You need a working laptop. Okay? Oh, you have to download JAS. Yan yung gagamitin natin. And you have to have a heart, no, and an open mind na kaya ko to. No? It would be very expensive if I'll ask another expert to do the reliability. So pag-aaralan ko to para moving forward, I can do it on my own. Or if I cannot do it on my own, no, at least I would know what to expect from a statistician when they do the reliability in our paper. Is that clear? Clear po ba? Okay. So, let's get going. Ayan. So, halimbawa, nagpasagot ako ng survey instrument. So, ito yung survey instrument ko. Wow. Future Panglao Teachers as Sustainability Champions. So, pupunta ako ito yung Google form na ginawa ko. So, if na-observe nyo, meron niyang informed consent, data privacy statement, no? And then, yung mga rating scale ko, I'm using the full words. So, sana kayo rin, no? You don't put the numbers immediately because that's somehow unethical and may be manipulated by the participants, no? So, mahalaga na words pa rin yung gagamitin natin. Strongly agree, agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree, no? Excellent, or something like that. So, words pa rin yung gamitin natin, no? Yan. So, I have 10 questions for my variables. So, sa study na to, ang mga variables ko, sustainable lifestyle, sustainable practice in the teaching and learning process, pati mga programs. So, ano sa tingin nila yung mga programs na makakatulong sa kanila? Okay, so if you are in a Google form, yan, ito yung itsura niya. No, so ang advice ko lang din is, halimbawa, kapag nag-gather kayo ng data, no, you should remember that you have to do it uniformly. No? Kung paper and pen lahat. Kung Google Form lahat. No? Because yung test administration na paiba-iba, may implication yan sa pagsagot ng respondents. Ngayon, halimbawa, ay Miss Linda, mas mabilis kasing mag-data gathering when we do paper and pen. That's okay. But in terms of organizing your data, no, maganda na ipasok niyo pa rin siya sa Google Form. So, if you are 5 in a group, that's more efficient because you can do it faster all at the same time, and your data will be properly organized in a Google Sheet. So just to give you an example, click nyo tong responses, view in sheets. Yan. Okay, so ito na yung magiging itsura niya, nakaayos na siya. So hindi nyo na siya para ayusin pa or isa-isahin pa. 'Di ba? Yan. So, typically, ay sorry, hindi pala naka-share. Yan. So, ito yung itsura niya. Okay, wala na tong pangalan, no, because I have to, of course, protect the confidentiality of the people who answered this survey form. Yan. So, ano yung una mong gagawin? So, you can do coding first. Okay? Yun. Ba't tayo nagko-coding? No, we do coding because statistical tools such as JAS, SPSS, they cannot really read letters. No, ang nababasa at naiintindihan niya lang numbers. Kaya we try to convert everything into numbers, words to numbers. Okay, so halimbawa, based on majorship. Ayan. So, dito, based on majorship, okay. Ayan. So, 664 yung nagsagot. Okay. Tapos, yung code ko dito is naka-alphabetically arranged lang siya. So, kung Besed yung nagsagot, that's 1. Yan. So, alphabetically arranged lang siya para hindi ko siya makalimutan, no? So, walang reason, baka may magtampo, bakit 1 si Besed, 2 lang si Bied. Walang ibang rason. Okay? We just want it to be easily remembered. Okay? So, ganun din. Yan. Next ko lang to. Click ko lang tong edit. Palitan ko yung major with gender orientation. Okay, so ngayon, na-check ko yung value and at the same time, naku-code ko na. Halimbawa, sa gender, siguro ang 1 ko is female, no, ang 2 ko ay male, at ang 3 ko ay LGBTQIA+. No, so, ayan. Alright. Okay. So, kanina, yung ano natin, strongly agree, 5 siya. Yung agree, 4. Neutral, 3. Disagree natin ay 2. Strongly disagree natin ay 1. Yan. So, ito na yung coding natin. Yan. So, remove ko na tong isang coding. Yan. So, si coding na tab, yan yung reference mo, no? Kung ano yung meaning ng mga numbers na lalagay mo dun sa data mo. So, halimbawa, ito. Okay? So, sabi ko kanina, if it's female, can you still remember? Pag female, 1, 2, or 3? Tama. It's 1. Okay? So, papalitan ko yan ng 1. Pag male, 2. Replace. Pag LGBTQIA+ as gender orientation, that's a 3. Yan. So again, bakit natin to ginagawa? Because the statistical tools, no, like SPSS, JAS, no, they don't have the capacity to read letters, numbers lang. Okay, so halimbawa, for public, iwan natin. For private, ito 2 natin to. Okay. Yan. So kung napansin nyo, naka-change na din. Yan. So yung strongly, teka lang, ko lang ito. Yan. So ito, naka-convert na rin siya, no? Yung mga 5, strongly agree. Yung 4, agree. Yung 3, neutral. Yan. Okay. Yung 2, disagree. Yung 1, strongly disagree. Yan. Meron din namang ganong responses. Yan, okay na. So, malinis na yung data natin. Okay, lahat na-convert naman na. Alright. Very good. So, ang next step natin is to download this. And you should download it as .csv. Okay? Hindi yan gagana sa Excel, hindi gagana pag PDF. Dapat .csv yung gamitin natin. Okay? Yan. So, na-download na. Okay, so I'll stop sharing. Okay, so I can share my entire screen para makita nyo yung buong process. Okay. So ngayon, na-download ko na kasi yung JAS, no? So kayo, ganun lang din yung gagawin nyo. You have to download JAS in your computer or laptop. It will not work in cell phone or mobile phones, no? So that's something that you have to remember. So punta lang ako sa Launchpad dito sa computer ko. I click on JAS. Maghintay lang kayo na siguro yan. Okay? So, full screen ko lang para mas makita nyo. May 3 line sa taas. Upper left corner. Yan, open, computer, downloads. Yan. Okay. Yan na yung data natin, no? So, sabi ko kanina, si Jazz hindi siya nakakabasa ng letters. Kaya kinonvert natin sa numbers. So, ngayon, i-inform natin si Jazz. So, halimbawa, Jazz, sa gender orientation, kapag 1, female. Okay, kapag 2, male. No? Kapag 3, LGBTQIA+. Okay, clear ba yan, Jazz? Ayan, mukhang nagets niya naman na. Sa internship site, Jazz, kapag 1, ibig sabihin yan, public. Kapag 2, ibig sabihin yan, private. Yan. Okay? Mukhang nagets naman na ni Jazz, kinonvert niya na. Ngayon, ang agenda natin is to check on the reliability of the tool. Tama? So, we have to click on reliability. Nasa taas naman yan, kitang-kita. No, click mo lang yung reliability, unidimensional reliability. Punta ka ng analysis. Tanggalin mo siya sa McDonald's kasi Jollibee tayo. Hindi, joke lang. Cronbach alpha yung gagamitin natin. No, kunin natin yung mean and SD. Cronbach alpha if item dropped. Inter-res correlation, mean and standard deviation. Okay? Yan. Itong reverse scaled items, nag-work lang to pag may mga, di ba normally pag gumagawa tayo ng statements, puro positive. Pag may negative kang statement kasi, kailangan i-reverse mo yung scoring nun kasi bababa yung reliability ng tool mo. So, yung mga items na yon kapag minanual mo siya, isa-isahin mo pa yan. Pero dito sa JAS, you can do the reverse scaled items dito na mismo sa tool. Wala kasi tayong sample na ganun ngayon. Pero halimbawa lang, may 10 kang question, may 2 doon nakabaliktaran yung mini-measure. No? So, i-reverse scaled items mo siya dito sa JAS. Galing, di ba? Hindi mo siya kailangan i-manual. Yan. So, nabanggit ko kanina ng 3 yung variable ko. So, sa first variable ko, which is sustainable lifestyle, meron akong 10 items. So, yun lang yung ipapasok ko sa variables. Okay? Ayan. So, baguhin ko lang to. Sustainable lifestyle. style. Okay. Yan. So, if you notice, yung Cronbach alpha ko is 0.9. 'Di ba? Ang general rule for Cronbach alpha is at least 0.7 para masabi natin na reliable yung isang tool. O ibig sabihin, all of the items are helping to measure your desired construct. Ngayon, if it is lower than 0.7, ibig sabihin may item dyan na iba yung mini-measure or redundant na kailangan mong tanggalin. Dito pumapasok yung importance ng paggamit ng tool. No, kasi kapag nag-Excel kayo, ang makakuha nyo lang data is yung R value. No, pero hindi mo makukuha yung if item drop Cronbach alpha, item rest correlation, makakuha mo yan but you have to do it manually. But when using just, makukuha mo siya agad, kita mo siya agad. So sa case natin, 0.89, hindi na useful itong frequencies individual item reliability statistics. Pero kung sakali na mas mababa yan sa 0.7, dito mo makikita kung anong item yung tatanggalin mo at pag tinanggal mo yun, tataas on a certain degree yung Cronbach alpha mo. So halimbawa, pag tinanggal ko raw yung I separate my waste for recycling, no, magiging 0.89 yung tool ko. So hindi siya need ngayon kasi 0.89 naman na yung tool ko. Pero kung sa ibang skills, kapag ang lumabas dyan ay kapag tinanggal mo yung items na yan, magiging 0.89 siya, tatanggalin mo yung items na yan at sa final tool mo, 9 na lang yung statements mo about sustainable lifestyle. Okay? I hope you got that correctly. Yan. So, ngayon, i-check ko naman yung pangalawang tool ko. Okay? Diba? Sustainable teaching practice naman. Alright, so 0.95 din siya. Yun nga lang, ang problem lang dito, kapag naka-rating scale at sobrang taas naman ng reliability, no, may danger din siya na baka overly identical yung mga items. No? So, itong nyari 0.95, no, medyo mataas siya. Pero kaya nga tayo nagpapa-validate prior to reliability kasi we're aiming na through the validation process, matatanggal na yung mga items na redundant, hindi connected sa variables. Dito sa sample ko ngayon, hindi ito dumaan ng reliability, dito dumaan ng pilot testing. Sorry, hindi ito dumaan ng validation process. So, itong mga to ay create ko lang immediately. No? So okay lang yan. But nevertheless, no, kaya tayo nagba-validate muna prior to pilot testing. So 0.95 siya, mataas siya, it's above 0.7, so okay, pwede nating i-retain yung 10 items katulad nung isa kanina. Okay? Yeah, may min and SD na rin siya. So from here, makikita na natin ano yung pinakamataas at ano yung pinakamababa. So halimbawa, in terms of sustainable practices as teachers, ang pinakamataas nila is I assess how students apply sustainable practices in their schoolwork. Hindi pala yun, 458 pala. I promote energy consumption such as turning off lights. At sa pinakamababa, potential area for enrichment is I incorporate topics on environmental sustainability into my lesson. So, if you're creating a program, no, reliable tong tool na to, no, for you to know ano yung strength and area for weaknesses or areas for enrichment. Okay? And so that's the entire process of doing reliability analysis. And so I hope guys you've learned something new. Today I just have to stop sharing muna. Okay. And how do you normally present findings, no, pagdating sa reliability? I think I have prepared a slide for that. No, but basically, no, kailangan i-discuss mo muna why it's important to measure reliability. Pwede kang mag-cite ng few authors, no? And then after that, sasabihin mo lang kung saan ka nag-base, no, in terms of interpretation. Kasi may iba-ibang interpretation pero ang general rule is 0.7. But there are several ways no as to how you could interpret it. May mga 0.9 to 1.00 excellent. So it really depends on you and the related literature dun sa study mo, no? So after that, so first again, importance ng reliability. Bakit mini-measure ang reliability? Pangalawa, anong interpretation guide yung gagamitin mo? Pangatlo, dapat may table ka for reliability analysis. So typically, variable siya, no? Variables, reliability index, yung pinaka result ng study based dun sa JAS, no? And pangatlo, interpretation. Acceptable ba siya or not acceptable? Tapos, interpret mo na siya sa baba ng table. Okay? No? So, I hope you learned something new today. No? And always keep in mind no, that share ko lang para maganda tingnan. No? The best decision makers are always armed with best information and data. No? So again, the reliability of your summary of findings, conclusions, and recommendations rely heavily on the reliability of your survey tool. And again, remember, you would be investing time, money, and effort no, sa research mo. So why not make it worthwhile? No? And do your best para may kapuntahang maganda, no, makabuluhan no, yung investment mo as a researcher. Okay? So that's all and I hope you learned and enjoyed listening or watching this video. Thank you.